This conference will now be recorded.
Here, first we will discuss that IAM architecture. See, so um, uh, so here I have my it's different. Okay, so this is so AWS account. Here I have my root user. Already we know what is the root user. Okay. Already we know what is the root user. So
Yes.
root user so can access AWS environment so through console or command line through using open internet so you can log in through console or command line. Okay, and he will get unlimited access to all AWS resources by default. So unlimitedly, so without restriction, you can access the all AWS services, all AWS resources. Take normal users, normal IIM users. Okay, normal IIM users also can log into AWS. So using console or command line. So through open internet, take IIM user or group. Already we know what is a group or IIM user. So these guys also can log into AWS. So using console or command line. Take console. Okay. So they can access AWS resources. These are the AWS resources. AWS resources. Okay.
Yes.
These guys users or group members can access AWS resources based upon their their pulse levels. Based upon their pulse levels only, they can access. For example, here I have admin access. I can access all resources. For example, here I have only deep database related access. Then I can access only DB related things and all like that. But this guy, root user can access unlimitedly without restriction. You can access all the services. But coming to IIM user, so he can access AWS services, but based upon his access levels, based on his access levels only, he can access the AWS services through console or whatever it may be. Same thing, if you want to log into command line to AWS environment, then you need access keys. Here, here you will use username and password, IAM username and password here. So you will use IAM API keys to log into the to connect to the AWS environment. Okay,
Yes. Got it.
so same thing roles. So in AWS, so if one service needs to communicate with the other service, so here we should create the one role here. The same thing. Okay, this is my on-premises data center. Okay, so non-AWS account holders who may need AWS access. here I have some guys. These guys need AWS access. Okay, we can provide. We can provide. So there are multiple types. So the Federate, the SAML, web identity, using web identity or SAML integration, we can provide the temporary access or single sign-on. For this, we will use the STS policies. For this, we will use the STS policies. This thing we will call the hybrid environment. Hybrid environment. And because here I have users, some users like to take EAD server, so I can integrate EAD server with AWS for single sign-on, and at the same time, the web identity. So already we discussed web identity for temporary to provide temporary access and all. So for that we will use the STS policy. STS policy. So this thing we will call hybrid environment.
Okay. So Ram,
Same way.
what?
So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what is a single sign-on means? One sign-in will give access to each and every resource. That's what you mean?
Single sign-on, yeah. One sign-in, yeah. It's kind of LLM. It's kind of LLM. So LLM, right? We can the users who are LLM profile, they can access the Linux servers, all those things, right? Same thing. Okay. The DAD also that we will call the single sign-on. The DAD concept we will call the single sign-on.
Okay. Okay.
Same thing. So here I have so production account, development account. So if you want to the cross account access, okay, we can configure cross account access also. So means I can log in from production to development account using cross account access role. Okay, right. So that is the IAM.
Okay.
Any questions here in IAM?
No, everything is clear with IAM.
Okay, fine then. So then now we will start VPC. So before starting VPC, right? VPC. So before starting VPC, so we'll see how to launch virtual server. Just okay for just in the EC2, how to launch EC2. Okay, so we'll discuss how to launch EC2. Okay, 1 minute.
Yes.
Okay, so before starting VPC, right? So we'll see how to launch the instance, how to deploy the instance, how to create the that virtual machine in the AWS. It's very simple. Just we'll see one. Okay. So So that thing we require in VPC. So why? Because it's to test our VPCs and all. So multiple times. So we used to deploy virtual servers in VPC. So that's why first we will see how to get that one. Okay. So in detail. So we can discuss later. We'll discuss later. Here just okay how to create the issue. We will see now. All these things and all these things and all in detail we will discuss in the issue section.
Yes, no problem. When Hari is going to join? Tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Go EC2. Yeah, EC2. So launch instance. Select Red Hat. Yeah, Red Hat. Here you can see free trade eligible. Free trade eligible. Select free trade eligible. Only free trade eligible. Here, right? So these things are not that network, subnet, or IP address, all those things are just leave it default. This is storage. Here we can say the storage. Just leave it here default. All these things we will discuss in or each class. These are the security groups, means firewalls, firewalls, firewalls. So yeah, just this is the firewalls. Just review, launch here, right? So in your case, so create it at the very first time. So it will. So here you can see create a new key file. Means keys already. I think I know this concept. In AWS at the very first time, at the very first time to log into Linux servers, we will not get any password. So using these keys, we have to log into Linux server at the very first time with the default username. So they will give one default username, but they don't give any password. So the default username and using these keys, we can access the AWS Linux servers. Here give any name, some name, okay, some some name, some test download. Just download these keys. Okay. Just downloaded dot pem keys. You can see here dot pem keys. Just launch instance. So PEM means there's one definition. So PEM means something different. Some protein energy. No, this is not. Protein energy also. No, something is there. That PEM means I forgot. Privacy enhanced mail. Okay. So PEM means privacy enhanced mail files. So by default, it will download the so dot PEM file. Okay. Here, right? So here I have PEM files. Here I have PEM files. Okay. Here, you're using Windows laptop or Mac OS, Mac laptop,
Windows.
right? Windows, right? So Windows, right? So we are using Putty to,
Yes.
to Linux server, right? Linux server. So on this scenario, we need dot PPK keys. If you are okay, so connect if you want to connect to Linux servers from Windows using Putty, then we need dot .pp keys. That PEMPA is not, will not support. PPK means again this something is Putty, something is there. Uh, PPK means something is there. Putty, something is there. PPK. Putty Genesis. PPK it works. Something is there. Putty. Something is there, yeah. Just 1 second.
Putty private key.
Putty, yeah, maybe Putty private key, exactly. Yeah, correct. Putty private key, yes. Putty private key. No, Putty private key. So here we want to connect to Linux server from Windows using putty, then it will support .pv keys. If you are connecting Linux server from Linux OS, means take it in the Mac OS or Linux to Linux. If you're connecting from Linux to Linux, then .pem files will support. .pem files will support. Okay, if you want to connect to Linux server from Windows, then we need .pv keys. Okay, Uday, you got it, this concept?
Yes, yes.
Now we have .pem files, but we can convert. So we can convert these things to .pv. We can convert. To convert, so any idea about Puttigen? Puttigen?
Yes, Puttigen.
Yeah. Open Puttigen, load, just browse your the temp keys which you downloaded now. So just browse your temp keys which you downloaded now. I think this is now okay. That's it. Just save private key. Public key automatically it will store in some that Linux server. We should save private key with us whenever we okay. So while logging to that Linux server, we should browse the private keys. It will sync with public key and we will get the access. Yeah, save somewhere. So wherever you want, save somewhere. With whatever name you want, just give some name. Whatever name you want, just save somewhere. Just and here you should remember all these paths, the names. That's it. That's it. So now open putty. Open putty. So go your EC2 dashboard. Here you can find your servers. Take public IP. Take public IP. So give public IP here. Go SSH authentication. Here browse your PPK key. PPK key. So default username is EC2 user. EC2-user. EC2-user. That's it. So now I'm in the server. Already this we already saw right in DevOps.
Yes, yes, we saw it in the.
Yeah. Well, okay, fine, no issues. Okay, right. So like this we can connect to the AWS servers. Fine. Now we'll see VPC. Any idea about VPC?
VPC is basically isolated environment that you create in public environment to safeguard your data and infrastructure.
Yeah, exactly. So here I can create my own network. My own network with my IP range, with some IP range. Takes anyone 172, 172, 198, something with one my IP range. I can create my own network in the cloud. It will work same like it will work as a like one data center. Yes, we can create our own data center in the cloud. This is a VPC, virtual private cloud. Same whatever you said it, the same thing. So VPC enables you to launch Amazon Web Services databases into a virtual network that you have defined. Means here we can create our own network in the cloud. Okay, so with our own IP range. In In this network, we can launch, we can deploy our resources, means our databases, our virtual servers, our storage, all these things and all. So here, so we can launch, we can deploy all our applications, servers, databases, all those things and all. Enables it to launch Amazon Web Services into a virtual network that we have defined. This virtual network closely resembles a traditional network that you would operate in your own data center, which is the benefits of using scalable infrastructure, AWS. This is the official definition from the VPS, AWS. Okay, Uday, any questions here?
No, nothing so far.
Okay, so what I will do, so you can see here just VPC, VPC. So VPC is the regional service. You can see here, IAM is global service. VPC is regional service. And in one region, so in each region, we can create the VPCs. You can create multiple VPCs in each region. This is my region. This is my region. In this region, I can create the VPC. Create the VPC. So like this. This thing I will discuss later. So important VPC facts. VPC is housed within a chosen database region. Okay. So in one region we can get the VPC. VPC is the regional service. A VPC spans multiple available zones within a region. You can see here. Okay. So this is my region. Okay. So here I have in one region we have the multiple available zones, right? Multiple available. So VPC we can get like this. It will span across all available zones. Okay. It spans multiple available zones within the region. This allows you to provision redundant resources with the separate available zones while having them accessible on the same network. So VPC we can create the so across all available zones within the region. Okay, Uday?
Yes.
You can see here. So this is my region. This is my region. This box. Here this is one available zone. So this is one available zone. Okay. Here they created VPC across it spans across all available zones within the region. VPC. Here you can see one VPC is the default VPC. The default VPC we will discuss later. Create VPC. So some my VPC, some name. Here your IP range, whatever IP range you can create here. Here just again I'm using the same for demo purpose. I'm using this IP range. Here this IP range is under in production. We will get from the architects or network team. They will provide us the VP range, that IP address, all those things. Here I'm using the 10.0.0.0. in production. So these things we will get it from the network team. So they will provide us.
Okay.
Here, version 6 or 4, whatever you want, like version 6 or 4, you can select tenancy, default and dedicated. Any idea? This tenancy default and dedicated? Any idea? What is the default and what is the dedicated?
Yes. Default means shared hardware will be used, and dedicated means dedicated router or switch will be used.
Yes, exactly. So yeah. So default means like it's shareable, okay? Same, it is shared hardware. They will give you shared hardware. Dedicated means they will use some dedicated hardware also. Yeah. Same. Just create. Just create. That's it. So now I have created my VPC. My VPC. This is the VPC. Just leave. Just leave 5 minutes. The VPC. Now we'll discuss subnet. Any idea what is subnet?
Big network which is divided into smaller part, that is
Exactly.
subnet.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So you see here. Okay. This is my region. So this is my VPC. In the VPC, we'll have the multiple available zones, right? Again, we'll have the multiple available zones. Okay? You can see this dot, this thing. This is one available zone. This is available zone. You can see the available. This is one available zone. Here, right? Within the available zones, we can create again some networking, our own network within this range. Within this range only. So I can create the within the available zone. Within the available zone, okay? In each available zone. In each available zone, okay, I can create the again some networking. Some networking means I can divide it. I can divide my VPC into the small versions in available zone only. So in within the available zone, in each available zone, I can create the, again some networking with this IP range, with this IP range only. So these things will call the subnets. These things will call the subnets. So here you can see this is my region. So this is my VPC. This is my available zone. In this available zone, so here we have created one network part, one network with this IP range. You can see the IP range 10.10.0.0.0 Okay. So this thing we will call the subnet. Subnet. Okay, Uday?
Yes. So basically, in one availability zone, there can be only one subnet, right?
No, multiple. You can get the multiple subnets.
Okay.
In each region, we can get the multiple VPCs. In each available zone, we can get the multiple subnets.
Okay.
Still confusion or any?
I think we will go ahead and then see.
Yeah, see here, right? This is my in this VPC. I have one available zone. Right? In this available zone, I can create the multiple subnets. I can create the multiple subnets. I can create the multiple subnets. We will create. Okay, I will show you
Okay.
subnet. You can see here, already I have some subnets. These are the default subnets. The default subnets we will discuss later. I will tell you. Once you know right what is the VPC, what is the subnet, then it is very easy to understand the default VPCs, default things. Create subnet. So my something your VPC. Select your VPC. Okay. Available zones means here where in which available zone. So we have to create the my subnet here. You can select whatever available zone you want. So otherwise you can select the no preference means randomly it will locate somewhere. If you select no preference, so randomly it will select somewhere. Or you can select in Mumbai. So in Mumbai, we have two available zones. In Mumbai, we have two available zones. So wherever you want, you can create your subnet. Okay, Uday?
Yes, yes.
Here my subnet range. So here I need to give my range within this only, within this VPC, within my VPC range only. If I give some other thing, some 172.168.0.0 it will not take it will not take. It's not within the shared address from VPC. Means we should give subnet range within VPC range only. Okay. So I given 10.0.0 create. Here I have created my subnet. So now we know what is the VPC. Now we know what is the subnet. Any questions here? Okay.
Not so far.
Yeah, in subnet, right, we have two type of subnets. In subnet, we have two type of subnets. One is public, one is private.
Okay.
Public and the private. Any idea what is the public and what is the private?
Uh, Public is basically subnet which is accessible through internet, and private which is not accessible through internet.
Yeah, exactly. A public means so the servers which are the public subnet, those servers will communicate with open internet. The servers which are the public subnet, those servers will communicate with internet. So private subnet means the servers which are the private subnet, so they don't communicate with open internet. For example, so I need so take any web servers. For web servers, we need internet. So to something, I think Allah knows what the web servers and all. Okay, so to browse and all, so we need internet. So those type of servers we will deploy into public subnet. Take database servers. For database servers, but database servers, so internet is not required. And take any servers. For some of servers, I need to provide some high level security. So those type of servers I will deploy in the private subnet. So if you deploy in public subnet, so there will be some security issues also. Security issues. Okay. So if you want to provide high level security, means like to protect from hacking and so you can deploy your servers in private subnet and database servers also we can deploy into private subnets. Means those servers will not communicate with internet. So for security purpose also, we can deploy our servers in private subnet to protect from any internet hacking, those things and all. The applications or web servers and all, so we can deploy in the public subnet.
Okay.
Yeah. So just 5 minutes, just leave it on the public and private. So we will discuss later. Now we have one more concept, internet gateway. So any idea what's internet gateway?
Gateway to internet. It gives internet access.
Yeah. Yes. So it will give internet access to. So like no, it will okay. Here I have my internet, the open internet. So it will give like it will no, it will give access to my servers which are in the VPC to internet. Security, not security groups. subnet. So when you create a VPC, it spans all of the available zones in the region. After creating a VPC, you can add one or more subnets in each available zone. So we can create the one or more subnet in each available zone. Each subnet must reside entirely within one available zone and cannot span zones. Already we started this thing. Already we discussed this thing. So we have public and private. So public subnet has a route to the internet. Private subnet does not have a route to the internet. Instances launched into private subnet cannot communicate with the internet. This creates a higher level of security, but it creates a limitation of an instance not being able to download software or updates. If you want to download or update software which for the servers which are the private subnet, for that we have some other mechanism that we will discuss later. The NAT gateway that we will discuss later. That is subnet internet gateway. Internet gateway is a VPC component that allows communication between instances in your VPC and the internet. Okay, means internet gateway will provide the internet access to our servers. Okay, any questions till now?
No questions so far.
Okay. Yeah, just 5 minutes. Just ignore the internet gateway that we will discuss later. Now we will say route table. Any idea about route table?
No idea.
A route table contains a set of rules that calls routes that are used to determine where network traffic is directed. In this route table, I can mention in this route. Okay, this is so you know router, right? Router. That's right. If we are using Wi-Fi, so then we should know router. So using a router, so we can get the internet to our home or something and all. Here also same in backend in the data centers they will have some routers. We will not get any access to routers. In routers there will be some route tables. In that route tables we can mention all our source and destination target to where network traffic is directed means where to have so from to where I need to send my traffic to where I need to get traffic. All these things are all these rules are okay, routes are we can mention the route table. Based upon my route table entries, so my subnet will get the internet traffic, some traffic. Okay, Uday?
Yes.
Same like a router. If you are using a Wi-Fi, right, we will have one router. So based upon the router only, we will get the internet, the Wi-Fi. Same thing here also, same thing. So okay, in the router, we'll have some route tables. In the route tables, we have to mention the source, the destination, and target. So destination means the range of the target, where data is routed to. Target a name of identifier to where the data is being routed to. Yes, the target destination we have to mention to where we need to send traffic, from where we need to get all these rules, and we have to mention the route table. Okay, any questions here?
No, okay.
So now we know what is the region. Now we know what is the VPC. Now we know what is the subnet. Now we know what is the internet gateway. Now we know what is the route table. Right? Any questions here? Yes, in these components.
Not so far. There is confusion about route table, but when we see practically, that time I will understand.
Okay, right. Here, right? See now. So now what I will do? Now I have my VPC. Now I have my VPC. Now I have my subnet. So now what I will do? I will create the one internet gateway, and this internet gateway I will attach to my VPC. Okay, and I will create one route table. Okay, in that route table I will mention my internet gateway entry. I will create internet gateway, and this internet gateway I will attach to my VPC. Then again I will create one route table. In that route table I will mention my internet gateway entry. You can see here, yeah, internet gateway WID. Then this route table I will associate to my subnet. Okay. This entire thing so will become public subnet. If you do this configuration, then it will become public subnet. Again I will explain to you. So now we know VPC, now we know subnet. Then I will create the one internet gateway, and I will attach this internet gateway to my VPC. Then I will create the one route table. In that route table, I will mention my traffic, my internet gateway traffic. Internet gateway means internet gateway will provide the internet access to my servers. Okay, that internet gateway id I will mention in my route table. Then this route table I will attach to my subnet. So if I do this configuration, then it will become the public subnet. Okay, the servers which are in the public subnet, these servers will communicate with open internet. Why means in this route table I mentioned internet gateway. So based upon this, okay, because of this internet gateway, my servers will communicate with open internet. Okay, Uday?
Okay.
So this thing will become the public subnet. If you do this thing, this will become public subnet. Any questions here in the public subnet?
No, we will do practically, then I will ask.
Okay. Go in internet gateway. Already we have. I have VPC. I have subnet. So go internet gateway. Okay. Here you can see already it is. I have already one internet gateway. This is default one. The default one, just leave it. We'll discuss later. Create my IGW. Just create. Done. Okay. So actions attached to VPC. Just attach to your VPC. Attach to your VPC. Done. Attached to my VPC. Route table. So create one route table. So my route table. Select your VPC. I am creating my route table in my VPC. Create. Done. Any questions as of now?
No, nothing.
Now go route table. Go your route table. Okay. Here go route table. What happened? What happened this one? What happened? Yes.
Actually, our route table that we created, that is connected, or that is associated with wrong VPC, I guess.
Sorry, that is.
So you basically attach that route table to default VPC, not our VPC, wrongly.
No, not default VPC. I attach my VPC. I'll show you once again. VPC. Okay, I'll remove one second and I will create from scratch. Route table. Okay, so just remove it. Just remove, delete. Okay, so I deleted the route table. Okay, so where is my documentation? So now I will create the route table. Go route table, create route table. You can see here. These are the default ones. The default ones we'll discuss later. Create route table. So my route table, VPC. Select your VPC. Okay. Here I'm selecting my VPC means I'm creating route table in my VPC. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Create. Yeah, done. So now I created VPC subnet and I have created internet gateway and I have attached the internet gateway to my VPC and I have created one route table means the custom route table. I have created one route table. So that one custom route table. Custom route table. I'll go to my route table routes. You can see here. Go your route table, your custom route table means which you created. Go routes, edit routes, edit routes, add route here, mention your internet gateway entry. This thing, mention your internet gateway ID here. Target internet gateway. Okay, so automatically it will list out all our internet gateways. Select your internet gateway means I am mentioning my internet gateway ID in my route table. The destination 00 means like all. Okay, was there any questions here?
Related to defining rules, I am a bit confused because here we are mentioning that destination means our VPC, correct? Anything in our VPC.
Yeah,
That is our
destination means
destination.
our VPC. Yes, exactly. Not VPC, it's subnet. Okay, subnet.
Okay,
Yeah, we
subnet.
subnet. Okay.
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 And target is what actually? This target is internet.
In
That means
target means
the,
my internet gateway. You know, I'm mentioning my internet gateway.
okay.
Here, so in target, right, I am mentioning my internet gateway. In destination, so something if you want, you can mention the your subnet that IP range, or you can use the 000. Zero means all everything. Target is I'm giving my internet gateway ID here. Why? Because if internet gateway means internet gateway will provide the internet access to my servers. When it will provide, we have to mention this internet gateway to this route table, and we have to attach this route table to my subnet. So then only my servers will get internet communication, internet connection.
Okay, that zero slash zero means everything, everyone outside
Everyone,
my
yes.
subnet or everyone inside my subnet. Destination means So in case of VPC, we become source and destination means outside any IP address, right? So I am saying from me via internet gateway connect to anyone. So is that so?
Sorry, from your, can you repeat once again?
So rule what we have mentioned here that 0.0 and IGW ID, correct?
Uh,
So in destination part we have mentioned 0/0. That means everyone. Okay, and in target we have mentioned IGW, that is internet gateway.
yes,
So
yes,
meaning of this rule is like our VPC is source. If we say then via source via internet gateway connect to 0.0 means everyone. So is it meaning of this rule?
just leave it just zero. What I will give? Here I will give my destination. Here my destination is my subnet, right? So by I'll give my subnet. Okay. Now it's okay.
Okay.
Here destination I am giving my subnet. This subnet. This subnet range. Means now only the servers which are in this subnet only they can communicate with internet. If I attach this route table.
Okay.
Okay, Jose?
Yes.
Just save using the updates. Creating routes failed. Routes failed. Why? Because so cannot create a more specific route. Just DBC with associate DBC in the route table. Okay. So here we should mention the so that 0 0 only 0 0 only. Here 0 0 means all the servers, all the servers within all the servers. So here right, I'm going to attach this route table to this subnet. Means all the servers in this subnet. In this subnet, we'll have the multiple IPs. We'll get the multiple IPs, right? So all the servers will communicate with my internet. Here zero means. So here I'm mentioning only if you mention only that 10 something only this thing it is this assume that only one IP here I'm going to attach my route table to this subnet. We mentioned zero means all the servers within this subnet will communicate, it will communicate with internet.
Okay.
So wait 0 0 you can see here. So internet gateway routing 0 0 security. Yes, allow inbound HTTP access to web servers from any means zero means any within that subnet any server within that subnet any server can access the internet. Okay, was there confusion?
I have to read actually. Then my confusion will clear.
Simple here, right?
Okay.
Here,
What if
so
one question? What if my suppose my one only single customer is there, and for him I have created this separate VPC, and I want only him to be accessed from internet. to my EC2 in that particular subnet. In that case, what
Mm,
00 will not work, right? Then I have to
mean,
mention specific IP address.
your question is, so you have only one in subnet, in the subnet you have only one instance.
Okay, let me frame it properly.
Uh-huh.
Suppose there is a private VPC I have created, and
Okay.
there is one public subnet I have created, and in that public subnet there is one EC2. Okay,
Only one.
yeah. So this setup I have done, and I have only one customer who will be accessing it.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
So I don't want that everyone to access this VPC. I want only one customer which is staying in different country. So obviously if he want to connect to this VP, he has to connect via internet only. Correct. So
So
in
here,
that case,
yeah, continue. Yeah, continue.
yeah. So he will be connecting via internet only, and I want only his IP address to be reachable to my EC2. No one else should be able to communicate. No other IP addresses. So in that
Okay,
case, instead of
I will repeat your question once again. So in this subnet, you have the so multiple instances, right?
correct,
In this multiple instances, you want to communicate only you want to provide internet only for one instance, right?
yes. No, 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 no,
That
no.
is
Not
not
like
possible.
that. No. So obviously now if EC2 is on public subnet, then that EC2 will have public IP, right?
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I
public.
want only one system which will be connecting to my EC2s through internet.
No, I didn't get your question. So here you have multiple instances. Okay, but till that I understand. Okay, okay. You
Okay,
have multiple
okay.
instances. Okay, fine. Then
Okay. We have multiple instances, and each and every instance there is public IP. This
yeah,
part is
yes,
clear.
yes.
Okay. Now I want only one person or one system from internet to connect to any of my EC2.
Okay, means from specific network
Yes. So
access
from
this
specific
server, right?
network or specific IP address can only access my EC2s from internet.
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes,
So
yeah, got it. Yeah.
okay.
Then this is come under firewalls, right? Here we can define the firewalls. Means from which IP I can access my servers. This come under the firewalls. This is
Okay.
different. Okay, here we can't define whatever you said. This is comes under firewalls. In firewalls, we can define. Like for example, you are in Mumbai, Pune. So here I have one server. Okay, this server. So here you have Pune. I am in Bangalore. Only from Pune only we can access this also. So this server. So like that we can configure. So here it will come on firewalls. In firewalls we can mention the Pune network. Pune network that IP range. Then only from that IP range only. So users can communicate with this instance. Other users they can't communicate with these users. This particular instance. This comes under firewalls. In firewalls,
Okay.
we can that rules from where from where so we can send traffic those things under.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm. Here, right, 00 means just only internet. Okay, so this thing means this target. Yeah, 0 means all the servers which are in this subnet they can access this ID, the internet gateway ID.
Okay.
So
So
you said
that means
that
whenever we specify IGW, that time we have to specify 000 as a destination.
yes, exactly.
Okay.
Here, right, in this subnet, so we will have multiple servers, like multiple servers. All the servers need internet access. That's why we should mention the 0. If you don't mention something, it will not work out. Just now we saw some error, right? Here you can see here some error. Why? Because so in that subnet, that particular subnet, in the private public subnet, all the servers will communicate with the internet. So that's why we should mention the 000.
Okay, okay.
So I am editing here. So just here I am giving 000 save routes. Done. So then now this subnet so became public subnet, yeah, public subnet. So now I have to associate this route table to this subnet. Go subnet, go subnet. You can see here route tables. Route table. Go route table. This route table, our customer route table, we should associate with our subnet. Go our route table, subnet association here. So select your edit subnet, select your subnet, save it. This route table associated with my subnet, No, this subnet became public subnet. Okay, Uday?
Yes.
So now what I will do? I will launch my instance, one instance in my public subnet, and I will test. Before that, go subnet here, right? The servers which are in the public subnet, they need public API or elastic API. So subnet, select your subnet to get automatically the public subnet to your instances which are in the public subnet. So subnet, modify auto assign. But by default it is no, it is disabled. By default here, right, the servers which are in the public subnet, for that we need public API. By default it is disabled. So we have to enable that. Enable. Save it. So now automatically my servers will get public API. Now I will launch one instance in my public subnet and I will test. So go instance EC2. Okay, so launch instance. So Red Hat. Take this the Fred eligible. Here network your VPC. Select your VPC. Select your VPC. Subnet. Select your subnet. So I have only one subnet here in my VPC. If you have multiple subnets, then it will list out. Select your subnet. Okay. Public API. Use subnet setting. Enable. Just leave it default. All those things. Those things we will just discuss in our EC2. Storage. Just leave it default. We'll discuss later. Here I can define the that firewalls. Here I can define firewalls. Okay, so all traffic means all traffic source custom. Here, if I mention your phone network, your network only you can log into this server. So no one can access.
Okay.
Okay. For example, if I mention 172 dot something, 172 dot something like that, okay, like that. Only this IP range only, so the traffic will put will so okay, so they will look. For example, here you can see only SSH. Means only I can SSH only from this network.
Okay.
This is later, okay. Okay. So for
Yes.
now, all traffic, and anywhere means anywhere anybody can access any traffic. Here, all traffic anywhere means anybody from anywhere they can access to the server any traffic. See here we can mention all our that rules, the firewall rules that we will discuss later. Review, just launch. So I'll select your key. So whatever key you want, you have launch instance. Take public IP. Put what is my keys? I forgot my keys here.
Jan 21. One in the top.
I think different one. I think so. Not Jan 21. I given different thing. Jan. See. I given different thing. Okay. Again I will select. I will launch instance. I forgot my keys. Select VPC. Your subnet. Here you all traffic. So this thing we will discuss in later. Review. Launch. So here I will give weekend 8 p.m. Take public IP. Just wait for some time. Still is so you shift to iPhone user. Okay. So sudo su. Just okay. I can try. So yum install httpd. It is downloading means I have internet connection.
Yes.
I have internet connection. So what I will do? I will break the connection. I'll go to my route table. In this route table, so I will remove my IGW. Okay, means I'm breaking my connection. We'll see. We'll test. Just I'm okay. Just remove that one. Okay. I'm removing my IJW from my route table. Save. You can see now I am entering. It is not responding. It is not responding. Because no, I don't have internet connection. That's why it is not. You can see.
Yes, yes.
Again, what you will do? So edit, add route, internet gateway, select, save route. Now refresh. Just restart session. User. Resume. Install git. Install git. Okay, so it is downloading, reinstalling. Okay, Uday.
Yes, okay.
It's very public subnet, private subnet, the differentiation. Very important in interview. Definitely they will ask.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so destination black is target. So, but so I did it. Okay. Best practice list is okay. So that we will discuss. So another thing in subnet, another thing. Private subnet. So later you can read this documentation here, right? So if you see
Yes.
route table, see our route table. There is one entry. This one, this one, first one, the default entry, default entry. So in area, what is this thing?
It is basically specifying entire VPC, CIDR.
Yes, exactly.
So that means, so any subnet we create in this VPC, it will have access to each other. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. Any servers which are in the same VPC, whether it is same different subnets or same subnet within the in same VPC, those servers will connect each other because of this entry.
Okay. So
So we can't,
in actual environment, we have to keep this entry as it is, or we have to remove it.
we can't remove.
Okay.
Here, the servers which are the same VPC, whether different subnets are same subnet in the same VPC, they will communicate with each other. Okay, so we will get the so it will communicate with each other. The servers which are the same VPC because of this entry. So we can't modify, we can't delete that entry.
Okay.
Because by default, all subnets traffic is allowed to each other available subnet within via the local target in the route table. This is a local target. Local target. So the route table. By default, all subnet traffic is allowed to each other available subnet within your VPC, which is called the route local route. You can't modify the local route.
Yes.
Because of this thing, the servers which are the same VPC, they will communicate each other by default. So this is the public subnet. So tomorrow we will see private subnet.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah,
If you have
thanks.
any interview question on VPC and IAM, so please share it.
Sorry.
If you have any interview questions related to VPC and IAM, then please share.
Yeah, I will upload to that Google Drive.
Okay, okay, no problem. Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thanks.